Hello everyone, welcome back. So again today we'll continue with your module 5 itself. In the previous classes you all studied what is electromagnetic radiation. So electromagnetic radiation basically consists of various type of radiations of different wavelength. One is gamma rays, X rays, UV rays, visible light, infrared rays, microwaves, and radio waves. These all are generated or come out with the energy of the sun. That is, sun emits all these radiations, and with the help of these radiations, the concept of remote sensing works. Now, you before going to how it works with remote sensing, you need to understand interaction of electromagnetic radiation with the atmosphere. So we'll go into the topic now. The sun is the source of electromagnetic radiation. It emits all the radiations. Once these radiations are coming in contact with the atmosphere, what happens? It gets scattered. Some radiation gets scattered and some radiation get absorbed. So when an electromagnetic radiation comes in contact with the atmosphere, two main things take place. One is atmospheric absorption and one is atmospheric scattering. Now you need to understand which are the different type of layers in the atmosphere. The most outermost layer is exosphere, then comes thermosphere, mesosphere, stratosphere, and troposphere. So exosphere is the outermost layer. It contains most of the satellites orbiting around the earth. The second one is thermosphere. It is the second highest layer, contains the ionosphere. Space shuttle orbits at this layer. Space shuttle orbits around this layer. The next one is mesosphere. Mesosphere is the third highest layer, mainly accessed by sounding rockets. The next one is troposphere. Troposphere is the last layer. Weather takes place, accessed by propelling driven aircrafts. So these are the different types of layers of atmosphere. In these layers, basically there are two main constituents. One is pure gas, the other one is particulate matter. The pure gas is made up of nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and there are small traces of carbon dioxide, water vapors, and ozone is also present. So that is all the constituents of pure gas. There is particulate matter also. So main two constituents are pure gas, second one is particulate matter. These particulate matters are of various size, shape, and concentration, originating from various sources. So they basically originate from different sources. For example, smoke, dust, haze, soil, and rock debris. So this is all about the different layers of the different atmospheric layers, and two main constituents of atmosphere are pure gas and particulate matter. Pure gas consists of nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and traces of carbon dioxide, water, and ozone. Now particulate matter consists of smoke, dust, haze, soil, and rock debris. So how remote sensing works here now, this is explained in the previous video. Kindly check that out. This is the sun. With the sun, when the electromagnetic radiations come and hit the ground surface, before coming to the ground surface they come in contact with the atmosphere, where reflection absorption takes place, or it may undergo scattering. So that is the first one. Then once it comes in contact with the earth, it goes back, or it is emitted back to the uh, satellites, where there are sensors present. Now while going back also, again these radiation come in contact with the surface of atmosphere of the earth, due to which again it that is atmospheric scattering and atmospheric absorption takes place. These further steps I have explained in the previous class: interaction with the target, recording of energy by sensor, transmission, reception and processing, analysis and interpretation, and application. These all steps usually takes place when there is when we are going with a remote sensing equipment. Now you'll need to understand what is scattering and what is absorption. Primarily, two interface mechanism takes place in the Earth's atmosphere. One is scattering, the other one is absorption. The sunlight, it sends the electromagnetic radiation. When these electromagnetic radiation come in contact with the particulate matter, so that matter which are of various size, shape and concentration, for example smoke, dust, haze, soils, rock debris, when this sunlight comes in contact with those particulate matters, scattering takes place. It scatters in an unknown direction. The next one is absorption. When sun rays emits electromagnetic radiation, when it comes in contact with nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, water vapor and ozone, what happens? Some quantity of the electromagnetic radiation are absorbed by all the pure gases which are present in the atmosphere. Some part is absorbed and the other is again transmitted back. So that is absorption. Now we go in detail with scattering and absorption concepts. Scattering happens when energy hits an object and bounces off in all directions unpredictably. So sunlight comes, it comes in contact with particulate matter and it bounces off in unpredictable manner. So this amount of scattering, how much extent it will get scattered, depends on various elements. The first one is size, wavelength, path length and abundance. If the size of that particle is large, then scattering is more. Okay, if the particle size is large, then scattering is more. If the particle size is smaller, then scattering is less. The next one is wavelength of electromagnetic radiation. So we know that gamma rays is having more electromagnetic radiation, it is having a shortest wavelength. Okay, but in terms of visible light, blue is having lesser wavelength when compared to the red side. So more scattering in shorter wavelengths, mostly in blue region. Then path length, depth of the atmosphere. Now if this is the distance between the two objects, if this is the source of the if this is the source of the sun, okay, and this is the earth's surface, the distance traveled, that is called as the path length. So more the path length, distance between earth and the sun is more, then more the scattering. If the distance between the sun and earth is less, then lesser scattering. So these are all the different elements on which the amount of scattering depends. Now three ways scattering happens. One is Rayleigh scattering, the other one is Means scattering, the other one is non-selective scattering. You will study all these concepts in detail. Rayleigh scattering is nothing but molecular scattering. Radiation interact with the atmospheric molecule or any tiny particles smaller in diameter. So that time Rayleigh scattering takes place. Now you all can see that our sky is blue in color. Okay, as the light moves through the atmosphere, most of the longer wavelength pass straight through. Shorter wavelength light is all around the sky. Whichever direction you look, some of the scattered blue light reaches you. so you see the sky to be blue. This concept you all will understand once you all see the video which is coming up next. Then we have Mies scattering, when the particle diameters equal the wavelength. So if the diameter of the particle is equal to the wavelength, then Mies scattering takes place. Common with water, smoke, pollution and dust. Here the size of these particles will be more when compared to the size of the particles when Rayleigh scattering takes place. Influences longer visible length, a significant influence on overcast, high humid days. So that is when Mies scattering takes place. Now Mies scattering can be explained with the concept of why we see that the atmosphere, that is the sky, looks red during the sunset time. That is due to Mies scattering. At sunset, the radiation must pass through a much thicker layer of the atmosphere. Much more blue and green light is scattered. Therefore, sun appears to look orange. So here during the daytime and during the sunset time, during the daytime what happens, the sun is exactly above our head, okay, and what happens, VIBGOIR, that is rainbow light, VIBGOIR, all these lights are passing or coming from the sun. Now what happens, since lesser the wavelength, that is shorter the wavelength, more the scattering. That is why blue gets scattered during the daylight. But during the evenings what happens, the sun, the distance between the earth and the sun increases, due to which red light